morning and welcome to the 2024 Shelby County Fair Breeding Beef Show. First in the ring we have Sienna Michaels with her feeder calf heifer, and this will be the only entry in this class.
Well, beautiful morning here for your breeding beef show here at the Shelby County Fair. And we start out, this young lady brings us a really nice single entry. Obviously one that the family has raised. I think she's out of a heifer that her brother had showed. Man, I like a lot of things about this one. And, you know, it's really too bad that she's in a class by herself, because I think she could withstand a lot of competition and still end up as your champion, because, man, I really like the profile that she gives you. She's really nice down her top and in through her quarter in terms of the width, the skeleton she has, and the amount of muscle that she has. And then you get, like you said, you get on a side profile of this one. Really a nice side profile female, very highly presented. Really a nice effort to start our show off today. Let's give her a big round of applause. Single inch, you've got a really nice one.
Okay, congratulations to Sienna. Next we have Jake Wagaman in the ring with his feeder calf steer. And this is the only entry in this class as well.
when we turn into the market division or the steer division of our feeder calves, again, a really, really nice one. This young man brings us one that, once again, you get on a side profile and you really, really like just the way he's made, just how square he is and how strong he is down his top. And he really surprises you when you get behind him just how wide this guy is. I mean, he's going to have a lot of muscle when you look at him down his top and in through his quarter. He's big boned, he's big footed. You know, as he goes and as he matures and he just bodies up and drops down in his body, I think it's going to be a really, really nice kind of a calf. So once again, just a single entry, but again, a really high quality one. Let's give him a big round of applause as well.
Okay, congratulations to Jake, and he can swing back in the ring here, and we're going to have our overall feeder calf with Sienna and Jake.
As we looked at these individually, we were very complimentary, obviously, on both of them. Our heifer, you know, she's one, again, that we had talked about when we had her out here in her individual class, that really a nice profile female, really like that. She's really smooth about her front end, really like the muscle that she has, really like the look that she gives you from the side. If we're going to change this one on down the road and some things to watch, she wants to get just a little bit straighter and take a little bit smaller, shorter stride. You know, some of that comes with, you know, coming to town for the very first time. She's at the county fair, just getting broke. So we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I really like a lot of things about her. Her angles seem to be right. Really a nice kind of a heifer. And then the steer came out of our steer class. Again, very complimentary of him in his class. You know, this one, when we compare the two, you know, he's maybe not quite as square out over his rump from his hooks to his pins as the heifer, and maybe doesn't put himself together quite as nicely. You know, he's really not trying to show himself all that great today. When you get him broke and he gets a little more used to it and a little bit more comfortable, you know, he'll kind of get his head up and get that out of there. But, you know, I just don't know if he maybe balances up quite as nicely as the heifer when we get him on a side profile. But man, there's a lot of things, again, that you really like about him. When we're going to have to pick a champion and a reserve out of the two, we're going to use the white heifer as your champion, and then he'll be reserve. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Sienna Michaels. She has the champion feeder calf, and Jake Wagaman is the reserve. Next in the ring, we're going to start with our breeding heifers. And first we'll have our commercial heifer entry with Trinity Haas, and that is our only commercial heifer. An announcement that after the show, the newspaper wants to take a group picture with just the banner winners and themselves. They don't need their animals over by the sign. So banner winners will take pictures with the newspaper over by the sign after the show, a group photo.
Again, class-wise, just a single entry in our commercial heifer class. This young dark red heifer that this young lady brings us, certainly with the first thing that comes to mind when you look at her is, she's really a good keeper, because, it looks like she's turning a lot of the grain that she eats into production, and this one's got a lot of muscle down her top and in through her quarter. She's got a lot of depth of body. She's not real comfortable out here by herself today, and they'll do that when they get out there. She's by herself, surrounded by a bunch of people that she's not used to. But man, when she kind of gets calmed down, there's a lot of things that you really like about her in terms of her strength of her top, the depth of body that she has. We might make her just a notch more comfortable as she moves off her hind legs. But again, some of that is being just a little bit wound up here by herself. But the young lady that's shown her doing an awesome job at keeping her under control and doing a good job today. Let's give her a nice round of applause on her red commercial heifer.
Okay, congratulations to Trinity. Our next class is registered breeding, or we're going to start the registered breeding heifers now, and we'll have class 1. This is all the other breeds. We have Coy Obrick first in the ring, and Lainey Golly.
Was it because anything when you did over there was just so thanks.
Two very, very nice heifers in this purebred, the first class of purebreds, and you know, there's different things that you look at within different breeds, and there's different ways that you could go with these two heifers also, and you know, because, man, there's things that I like about each one of them quite well. I chose to start with the shorthorn colored heifer. You know, she's one that, you know, she hits you pretty hard the second that she comes in the ring. I love the amount of body that this one got, or this one has. The young man does an awesome job of getting her stuck and presented on a side profile. Where it really separates, in my estimation, is when we ask these two heifers to get around and move. This one, I think, really fills her track extremely nice. Stays within her skeleton when you look at her from behind. Very, very nice side profile heifer sound. And neat enough. The black heifer coming out in second, man, I'll tell you what, right there, you know, that's one that, you know, she's the kind that you really, really have to like and is going to go out and make an excellent cow. Really like the amount of body that she's got, the look that she has. Like I said, when we get them on, when we start asking them to move, that's when I can kind of separate them a little bit. She wants to get plenty wide when she walks from behind and kind of get outside her skeleton a little bit. I don't quite know if it's a structure thing or just how her feet are trimmed or whatever, but you'd like her just to smooth you know, out her stride just a notch. But man, you get this one on a side profile, and I love the amount of body, I love the amount of bone, and the foot size that this one has. Two really, really nice heifers. Let's give those exhibitors a big round of applause.
First in that class was Coy Obrick, and second was Lainey Golly. And then now we have class 2 registered heifers, and first we have Cheyenne Obrick and Brooklyn Buck. Another announcement about the picture after the show with the newspaper. It's a little different this year. They want the banner winners and the exhibitors and a group photo by the sign. So after the show, a group photo, banner winners by the sign.
Well, here's a really, really interesting pair of heifers, and I'll be honest with you, you could probably bring 10 judges in here, and they're going to be placed, some different ways. Half of them are going to pick one, half of them are going to pick the other. I'll be honest with you, there's things I like about each one of these, and that's what makes it so, so tough. I'm going to go with the Shorthorn Plus heifer to go ahead and win this class today. I love the amount of body that this one has. Love her presentation. She comes at you with a lot of nice parts and pieces. She's the one that when we can get them out, she takes the nicest, longest stride. I think she's the most comfortable in her structure. I love the way that she's made up through her front end, and as she comes back and has enough cushion on her rear leg. You know, she isn't probably the longest fronted. She's not as long bodied and long fronted as the heifer that's in second. She doesn't have as much muscle, and she isn't as wide in her total structure as the heifer in second. But man, I think she does put together a bunch of nice parts and pieces that you can really go ahead with within this particular class. Standing on the side profile, I love this heifer, and I think that's where she beats the heifer that beat her in class today. She's longer, she's more feminine, she's neater out for front end. She too has enough body. She's square enough, gives you a really nice look from the side profile. It's when we ask him to move that your heifer gets in trouble. She wants to take a really short stride. If we could just loosen her up and loosen up her structure and be confident enough that when we turn her out into the pasture as a cow, that she's maybe going to loosen up, then, then I'd be more than happy to switch this pair. But man, today, I just need her to move a little nicer to get around the other heifer, because the other heifer does have so many other nice parts and pieces that we've got to go ahead with the Sounder one to win, but really, really like your effort. Let's give both of these young ladies a big round of applause.
Congrats to Cheyenne. She took that class, and then Brooklyn Buck, both with blues. And then next in the ring, we have Lillian Nicholson with her Minnie Herford for class 3. After this class, we'll be selecting our champion registered breeding heifer. So we'll need each of those classes back to the ring after this class.
In our third class of purebred heifers, Minnie Herf heifer, and boy, I mean, you know, there's some things that you really like about this heifer. I don't know how familiar many of you are with the Minnie Herf deal, but you know, when you see some of those cattle, you know, they're so small and compact and they're kind, you know, really they can get kind of short-fronted and kind of coarse and kind of wound up. Boy, the things that I really like about this particular female is just how feminine look that she gives you. She's smooth and extended out through her front end and through her shoulder. Really like that about her. Really like the length of body in her. You know, hey, she's not going to be as big as those others. She's got Minnie in her name, for gosh sakes. So, you know, as far as, you know, growth for a May heifer, I think she's got a lot of that. So she's a really productive one. She's got enough body, yet she's staying really feminine in her kind. I think a really, really nice representative for the Minnie Herf. Let's give this young lady a big round of applause.
Congratulations to Lillian Nicholson. She earned a blue ribbon for that class. Now we're going to be selecting the champion and reserve champion registered breeding heifers. So we're going to need back each of the class winners and reserves. So first, no, this is registered right now. Just registered. So Coy's first, yep. So Coy Obrick is in the ring first from class 1. And then we'll have Cheyenne Obrick from class 2. And then we have Lillian from class 3. Okay, and then we have Lainey Gawley who is second in Class 1. And then Brooklyn Buck, who is second in Class 2. So this is for overall registered breeding heifer.
As we bring our first and seconds back from our 3 classes of purebred heifers, really a good lineup. Obviously, we maybe don't have the numbers we used to have, 5-10 years ago, but man, I'll tell you what, when you come to Shelby County, the one thing that I knew, we may not have a lot of numbers today, but I knew the quality would be high, and it certainly is. Certainly didn't disappoint again today. I think all of these heifers through all 3 of these classes, we've seen some really high quality cattle. The kind of cattle that you like, when you come to a show and judge a county fair, I mentioned in that one class, you could bring different judges in and they could pick them different. And that's the one thing about livestock judging is not everybody likes the same kind of cattle. And that's really good, because when we have these different breeds and you can come out here and pick different things that you like about each and every one of them, that's the kind of things that separate how you place them one day and how they're placed under this judge or that judge and that kind of thing. And that's how they work in different programs. And that's why we like different kinds of cattle and different breeds of cattle. And that's where I think this is really cool. When we come out here, I think they're all high quality enough. So that's when it gets down to personal preference. My background more is in raising steers. And so obviously, I kind of always gravitate to those females and choose those kind of females that got maybe a little bit more to them. They're a little stouter, they're a little heavier bone, a little bigger footed, but yet remembering, these are going to be cows within the cow herd, and we need to keep them sound, we need to keep them functional, we need to keep some body in them, and we need to keep them, moderately framed, but yet productive enough that they're going to go out and they're going to be in the herd for a number of years. So all of these females, I think, are going to do that in one aspect or another, no matter how they're mated to different bulls, and hey, one that maybe didn't win class is maybe going to be the one that's going to produce the best calves on down the road. You never know with mated to the right bulls. So let's give all our exhibitors a great big round of applause. I'll go shake the hand of your champion and your reserve in this purebred division.
Okay, congratulations to Coy Obrick. He has the champion registered breeding heifer, and reserve champion registered breeding heifer went to Laney Gawley. Now we're going to bring back in the ring the commercial heifer to select the overall grand champion breeding heifer. Okay, so Coy Obrick is coming in now. And then Trinity with her commercial heifer. And then Reserve with Laney's. So the selection of this will also lead to this breeding heifer being represented at the Best of the West Showdown, which is July 31st in Denison, and it is a few area counties around here for that. The trophy sponsor for the Grand Champion breeding heifer is Troy Bruck with Agerland FS, and the Reserve Champion breeding heifer sponsor is Shelby County State Bank. The cattlemen auction off these trophies each year at their banquet and get sponsors for them. Now, instead of trophies for the different champions and reserve champions, they're giving banners out, but they're still going to continue doing the sponsors. So the individuals that receive banners today, remember to go take your group picture over by the sign after the show. So this is for overall Grand Champion breeding heifer.
As we bring back our purebreds against our commercials out here, I think we only had one commercial heifer, and so this is the first time she actually gets to get out here and be compared in a class with others, and we start looking at the differences that we had just talked about. We want to keep these females with some feminine look, yet we want to keep them have enough body, and we want them to have the structure, and we need them to have the bone work, and yet stay sound and complete. I think in this particular division, I think our two purebreds, in my estimation, do that very, very well, and they'll be your champion in reserve. The commercial heifer, in my estimation, like we had talked, really like the moderation of her. I think for a May heifer, she's got enough production to her. Just need to make her a little nicer as we move her off her hind legs. She doesn't seem real comfortable there. If we could just kind of soften her structure up a little bit, maybe make her a notch more feminine up through her head, I think that may change things out here. But man, I tell you what, three really nice ones through our breeds, plus our commercials. But like I said, our two out of our purebred division will be your grand and reserve overall. Let's give everybody a great big round of applause. Really, really a nice show.
Congratulations to Coy Obrick. He is a champion registered breeding heifer and will represent our county at the Best of the West Showdown. And reserve champion breeding heifer went to Laney Gawley. Now we're going to be moving on to showmanship. The senior showmanship class is going to start off. So whoever is participating in senior showmanship needs to make their way to the ring right now, please. If you're doing senior showmanship, please make your way to the ring now.
How are you?
First in the ring we have Laney Gawley. Then we have Cheyenne Obrick. Brooklyn Buck. Okay, and that's going to be it. So this is our senior showmanship class.
Well, I'll be honest with you, this is the toughest decision I've had to make all day, because when you pick a champion in reserve out of 3 young ladies that are all doing an excellent, excellent job, it makes my job extremely tough. But I'll tell you what, that's why we're here, and that's what makes this whole thing kind of fun. And you know, we come to county fair, and you know, we put on our best face, and we do our best job that we possibly can. When it comes down to showmanship, you know, I've had the opportunity to judge Shelby County here a number of times, and you know, around the area, and I've never been one to ask a ton of questions. I want to concentrate on the one thing that we actually call this class, and that's showmanship, because showing your animal is so ultimately important. We know that, you know, getting into you know, showing cattle these days, especially at this level, you know, it's not cheap. You know, there's the expense of the animal, the feed, and everything that goes along with it, and traveling around and doing those kind of things. You know, we work so hard on our animals and feed them right and get them just to look perfect for show day. The one thing that we don't want to slack on is showmanship, and I think as things progress and do those things and get more expensive, I think showmanship becomes more ultimately important, because you want to show off the work that you've done at home and in preparation for the show. I've had the opportunity to judge showmanship at you know, a number of different levels, you know, state fair and you know, a lot of those the other shows, and the one thing that I always stress when I judge showmanship is making that animal look as natural as you possibly can. Yeah, there's, you know, when we show cattle, and you know, we have a show stick, and that's, you know, to do the different things, and you know, it's to get the animal loin, and it's to do the feet right and all of that kind of stuff. But man, I'll tell you what, for a judge, and the way that we want these things so sound and so soft and so perfect today, they look so much better if we can just walk them into that stance and they look natural. And so basically, the show stick is kind of there to keep the animal calm, and that's just what we use to show livestock. And so, you know, it's those kinds of things, and when it gets to this level and these young ladies are doing this good a job, I mean, it's really the small things. It's how you're grabbing onto the halter. If you know, find the problems with your animal and maybe show them just a little bit different, getting them set up perfectly, getting them loined perfectly. When it came right down to, you know, I had the opportunity to judge the senior showmanship at State Fair alongside my son one year, and you know, man, you get to that level, obviously, and there's a whole lineup of kids that are doing an excellent job. You know, and we looked at each other and basically came to the conclusion, it's, you know, which is that one exhibitor that, you know, give you that unforgettable look that you have to go back and look at the animal. Because when you're judging a show, and you know, today we've had some small classes, but when you get out there and there's, you know, 10, 15 or more in a class, it's that one forgettable look that you want the showman to give you, so that the judge can come back and look at your animal. And you know, it's not, it gets past, you know, just getting them set up right and those kind of things. Like I said, it's that one forgettable look, and when you're judging a show, that's kind of hard to forget. So all of these ladies doing an excellent job. You know, the worst thing about my decision in this class is one's going to be champion, one's going to be reserve, walk home with awards, and one's going to be third. Please don't think of yourself as the worst showman out there. These young ladies are all extremely good and doing a really good job, and it's just small, minute things that are separating them. Let's give all of these young ladies a great big round of applause. They've done an excellent job here today. I'll shake the hand of your champion, reserve, and then your third.
Congratulations, Lainey Gully. She's the champion senior showman today, and then reserve champion went to Brooklyn Buck. Now we're going to have the intermediate class of showmen. We have Lillian Nicholson and Coy Obrick for intermediate. Okay, this is Coy Obrick. And Lillian Nicholson, this is our intermediate showmanship class.
As we bring our two intermediate showmen back out here, once again, a lot of the same things that we talked about, showmanship is showmanship, no matter what age you are. And so a lot of the things we talked about in the senior showmanship also hold true into our intermediates. Both of these young people doing an excellent job. It comes down to, just getting the animal set up and staying calm and cool and collected. And again, just giving the judge the best look that you possibly can. Young man with the short horn heifer, he just does such a calm, cool, and collected job. Always gets her set up perfectly. When you get him leading around the ring, man, he knows the height of the head to have that, or what height to have that head on that heifer so that, she stays calm and she stays looking good and she moves sound. He's going to be your champion intermediate showman. Just doing an awesome job today. Let's give him a big round of applause. Young lady with the mini Herf heifer, she's going to be your reserve champion showman. Once again, doing a really good job. Heifer probably isn't helping her out a whole lot today, just in terms of the way that she's behaving. So it kind of comes down, is she set up as many times and gives you that cool look? Probably not. But as that heifer, I think, gets more used to being showed, maybe you're going to show her on down the road later on, that could also improve. So both of those young people doing an awesome job. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Congratulations to Coy Obrick. He's the intermediate breeding champion showman. And then Lillian was reserve. Now we are going to do the overall breeding beef showmanship class. So we have Lainey Gawley from the senior class. And then Coy from intermediate. Oh wait. In the program there's no juniors. Do we have juniors? Because we can do those. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I didn't see it in the program, sorry. Okay, so I guess we're gonna bring a junior and then, okay. So we have Coy and then Trinity for the junior class. And this is for overall breeding showman. And then back in the ring are also the reserves with Brooklyn Beck and Lillian Nicholson. So this is for overall breeding beef showmanship.
To everything that's out here.
really a nice lineup as we bring these out here with your senior, your intermediate, and your junior showman. Your junior showman, we've added it in the final lineup here. Since she was the only one, obviously, she is the winner of the junior showmanship. And, the one thing about her, and maybe, it comes with, getting the animal used to the surroundings. I know when she came out here the very first time in the commercial heifer show, that heifer, wasn't wanting to set up. And boy, she was out here by herself, and she really didn't want to be out here by herself. And man, the young lady just hung in there, and the determination that she had in getting that animal set up, certainly want to compliment her for that. And now when she gets back out here, for the heifer deal and in the showmanship class, the heifer is a lot more relaxed, and so is the showman, obviously, with her being that much more comfortable, the animal in the ring at this time. So again, doing a really good job. So congratulations on the junior showmanship. As we go through all of these and look and the things that we've talked about, within the showmanship classes, getting them set up and just actually presenting your animal, it really all just comes down to those small little things, giving me that look that you really want to see, and presenting the animal to the best of their ability. And every animal, as you go around shows, you hear judges say, there's never maybe been that one perfect animal born yet. And so it's amazing how you can do certain things within showmanship to correct some of those things in the animals. If let's say, they're a little weak behind their shoulders, maybe you want to get their head at a perfect level. If maybe they don't move quite right off their front end, you can kind of change some of that as you go around the arena by the height of the head and things like that. And if they kind of slope from hooks to pins, you can get them loined. And there's so many different things that you can show out of your animal, so that you can maybe get a notch or two. Just an example, I had the opportunity to just show earlier, a couple months ago, and there was a class that came in, and there was this little bitty heifer, and it was in a young heifer class, and she just kind of came in, and it's kind of like, okay, that's a nice little heifer, and man, the kid got her out there and line up, and man, she cocked her head up, and he got her loined and posed just right. And the more you looked at her, the more I looked at her, the more I liked her, the more I liked her. She ended up winning that class, and I'll be honest with you, maybe a lot of that was showmanship. But man, he gave me a look out there when it was pretty hard to beat her in class. But when she came in, she was kind of jumping around, and her head was kind of down, and I thought, well, there's just kind of a mediocre effort. But it was the showmanship that really separated it in that. As the judge, I'm sure I ended up getting the class right. It was that deal. But it was the showmanship, what I'm trying to say, it separated it basically out there for that, and that's why this is so important. Let's give these kids all a great big round of applause. Looks like we've got a heifer getting tired, and I'll go select the hand, or shake the hand of your champion and then your reserve.
Congratulations to Lainey Dolly. She's the overall champion breeding beef showman. And congratulations to Brooklyn Buck. She is the reserve champion. That concludes the 2024 Shelby County Fair Breeding Beef Show. Congratulations to all the participants. We had a good quality show today. All the banner winners, please remember to go take a group picture now over by the sign for the newspaper. So your banner and yourself, that is all you need for the group picture. Thank you, and thank you to our judge, Craig Mintag, today.